Alex Wallace here from Wallace Training Systems, and today we're going to go over exactly how you can track your food when you're going out to eat. I'm going to give you 3 strategies. The first one is going to be very easy, although not quite as accurate. The second one is going to be much more accurate, but takes a little more time. And the third one is actually a skill that you can develop that will go with you no matter where you go, whether you're out to eat at a friend's house or whether you're actually at a restaurant. So these are the 3 strategies that you should learn, you should use when you're going out to eat and you want to track your food. First, a quick caveat. I will be showing you on MyFitnessPal. I did a tutorial on exactly how to use MyFitnessPal. It's one of our more popular videos. I'm gonna link that right here. If you haven't seen that video, click this link, watch that video first, then come back and finish this video. That way you know exactly what we're talking about and you don't miss a beat. So let's get into it. The first strategy. This is very quick, this is very easy. This is something that you can do. Let's say you're out with your friends and you don't want to spend a lot of time with your nose in your phone trying to track your food. A lot of people think that's weird. Personally, I like to see when my friends do that. I do that all the time. But again, it can be a little weird, especially when you're trying to hang out with your friends. So let's just get into this easy strategy. So let's say I was out to eat for dinner. And let's say my friends and I got pizza, and it was pepperoni pizza. So that's all I'm gonna type in. Pepperoni pizza. That's gonna come up. You're gonna see a myriad of different options. My best suggestion to you is find a relatively tight spread. So if we look at, we're gonna scroll through here, we see this is 298 calories per slice. We see this is 283 calories per slice. We see 280 calories per slice. If there's a green check mark and you're at a chain restaurant, that usually means that that's verified and it's pretty dang accurate. So if you're at some place that you already know what brand it is and there's a green check mark, that's accurate. But we're just saying we're at a random pizza shop and we're just looking at this spread right here. If I'm trying to lose weight, I'm gonna take that spread and I'm gonna choose this option right here, namely the highest calorie option. I'm gonna click that. If I'm somebody trying to gain weight, I'm gonna click the lower calorie option. I'm gonna click this 280 calorie option. Now again, that doesn't seem like a lot, 20, 30 calories here or there, but if you have 2, 3, 4 slices of pizza, that'll add up. And over time, that all adds up. So again, this is the first strategy. Very quick, very easy, doesn't take a lot of time. Let's say I'm somebody trying to lose weight. I'm just gonna click this 298 calories. Boom, it pops up right in MyFitnessPal and it's added to the food that I've eaten through the day. The second strategy takes more time, but it is something that is much more accurate. So let's say I went to Chipotle. Lucky for us, Chipotle actually has some nutrition on its website. So I'm gonna click nutrition, it's gonna load up, and I'm just gonna tell you what I would get at Chipotle. You might not like this, but I always get the burrito. You got to. If I'm getting steak, it's gotta be double. You gotta get the white rice, black beans, fajita vegetables. You gotta get the guacamole. Can't have the cheese. Also can't have the sour cream, but I'm gonna get it anyway. I'll regret that the next day. And the lettuce. So that's what I would get at Chipotle. We scroll down. 1,325 calories, 57.5 grams of fat, 67 grams of protein, 130 grams of carbs. I thought Chipotle was healthy. Anyway, I know what Chipotle says I have. Now, is this 100% accurate? No, it's not. Because sometimes you get somebody, you ask for double steak, they give you 2 little baby scoops and you're looking at them like, I need at least 2 more scoops of that. Or sometimes you get 2 monster scoops. So again, there is a level of inaccuracy to this, but it's pretty dang close and it's the best that we got right now. So now that I know the calories of this Chipotle, and there's a lot of restaurants that have this, I'm just using Chipotle as an example because I had it last night. We go into MyFitnessPal and we're gonna add this in. So we just go to add food and right at the upper right hand of MyFitnessPal, you click that plus button. That plus button is gonna allow you to create a meal, create a food. I always just hit create a food. That's gonna come up. You can have a brand name. Personally, I never put that in. Description, I'm just gonna call it a double steak. That's gonna pop up. Serving size is gonna be 1 burrito. And the servings per container is just 1. After that, you click the arrow in the upper right corner. It's gonna prompt you to this screen. So this is where you can actually input that information that you got from the website. So we're just gonna go back to the website and we see exactly that. So there was 1,325 calories, that's required. 1,325, how many carbs? If memory serves, there was 130. There was 130. How many grams of protein? I think there was 67 if memory serves. And then the total fat was 57.5 grams. Boom. From there, again, we just click that check mark in the upper right-hand corner. It's gonna ask if you wanna add additional details. Unfortunately, we don't have a bunch of additional details. Obviously, if you're somebody who wants to keep an eye on their sodium or whatever it is, if you can find that information, great, put it in. But if you can't, again, you got the macros, you got the calories. We're just gonna hit no thanks, and it's gonna pop up, boom, right at dinner. We called it the double steak, it's one burrito. We got the calories, carbs, fat, protein, it's all there, perfect. So that's the second strategy. If you're at a chain restaurant, this works really well. Oftentimes they'll have their calories on their website. Then if they don't have it verified, like in step 1, you can just input it very easily. Takes a couple minutes, but it's much more accurate than just the guesstimation. The third strategy is actually a skill that you need to develop. And this is a step-by-step approach. This took me a little bit of time to develop, but now that I have it developed, it's something that I use all the time, whether I'm out to eat at a friend's house, whether I go out to eat with my wife, regardless of where I go. This is a strategy that I use all the time, and it's something you can absolutely develop and it'll stick with you forever. It has to do with getting really good at estimating your food. It sounds crazy. Oh, how am I gonna estimate what's on this plate? Well, oftentimes you can't. If it's something like lasagna or something like an everything pizza, yeah, it's gonna be impossible to know exactly how many anchovies, how many ounces of cheese, all that stuff. I mean, that's infeasible. Go to strategy 1. But if you're somebody that orders something a little more distinct, like if you have, okay, I always get chicken, I always get carbs, I always get a vegetable, you can eyeball this pretty accurately. And I know that you can because I do it all the time. This is the strategy you need to employ. Weigh your food, put the food on a dinner plate, relate that to something that you always have with you. I always think you should use your hand. So let's say I know what 6 ounces of chicken looks like. I'm gonna weigh 6 ounces of chicken, I'm gonna put it on a dinner plate, and then I'm gonna look at that and I'm gonna say, okay, this is roughly as big as this part of my hand. Okay, that's 6 ounces of chicken. Now if I go somewhere, let's say I go to Bon Chibo, which is down the street, I like that place a lot, and let's say I get the chicken breast, I can look at that and say, okay, well, I know what 6 ounces looks like, that's at least 1.5 that, maybe a little more. I probably had 10 ounces of chicken breast. So let's go in here and actually figure that out. We're gonna add this to dinner, we're gonna look up chicken breast, boom, it's gonna pop up, and you can see there's a couple different options. It's roughly 50 calories an ounce, a little bit less sometimes. We're just gonna click this first option just for simplicity. Number of servings, well, if a serving size is 1 ounce, we had 10 ounces. I know that because I was able to eyeball it fairly accurately. Look, you will get better at this. So there you go, boom, 10 ounces, we hit that check mark. So the reason you're gonna get better at this, I've proven it to myself. So what I'll do is, I meal prep. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it at the end, exactly how I meal prep. Super easy, super cheap, doesn't take a lot of time. I will link that at the end. But I know that, okay, I have gotten good enough at this skill, and I'm not special at all, man. I just practice it, where I can actually cut the meat, then I put it in the container, and then I weigh it and I see how close I can get, and I'm getting to the point where I'm about a 1/2 ounce, sometimes a 1/4 ounce off of what I predict. So that's pretty good. And again, I'm not special. I don't have particularly good eyes, but again, it's just because it's a skill I've developed and it's a skill I've refined. So again, you relate that to a dinner plate, you relate it to something on your hand. That way you can take that skill with you wherever you go. Same thing applies to carbohydrates. You can take a cup of pasta, a cup of rice, whatever it is, put it on a dinner plate, relate how that spread kind of relates to maybe your hand, maybe if you pile it up, if it was close to your fist, whatever metric you need to use. I personally always like the hand because, you know, fortunately you always have it with you, or hopefully you always have it with you. That way you can take that no matter where you go. So whether you're at grandma's 4th of July party, or whether you're out to eat with whoever, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you can get pretty good at looking at that plate and say, okay, I know how much that is, or I can get pretty dang close, and certainly much closer than not tracking anything at all, and certainly much closer than strategy 1. And again, one thing I would say is if you're somebody trying to lose weight, my suggestion is gonna be overestimate a little bit. If you're looking at it, you're somewhere between 8 and 10 ounces, go with 10 ounces. You will get better at this as you do it. It only takes a few times and then you can start to get pretty accurate. So again, those are 3 strategies that you can use to track your food when you're going out to eat. So the first strategy is very simple. You just go into the add food button, you search for something that you ate, and you just pick the appropriate calorie range that I told you earlier in the video. The second strategy takes a little more time, and it usually only works for chain restaurants. That's go on the website, find what you ate, and then input it manually into MyFitnessPal if they already don't have that meal verified on MyFitnessPal. And the third strategy is actually a skill. It takes longer than the first 2 strategies, but it's something that you will carry with you forever. And that's while at home, you take your food, you weigh your food, you put it on a plate, and you relate it to usually your hand. Again, that's something that's a skill that you need to develop at home, but you can take that skill with you wherever you go. If you like this video, don't forget to like the video. If you're interested in following our content, make sure you subscribe. As promised, this video is gonna bloop up somewhere over here pretty soon, and that's gonna be how I meal prep when I'm trying to lose some body fat. I'll also put a subscribe button right here. That way you can click that, and in case you just didn't see the red button down below, we're committed to growing the channel and we appreciate the support. I'm Alex Wallace from Wallace Training Systems, and thanks for watching.